This is Lisa Nandy. Okay, this is a Labour politician. She says Labour's path back to power will be through on-the-ground activism. And you see, activism is starting to become a real dirty word these days. Too many people claim to be activists and walk around under the banner of "I'm an activist," saying "Oh, I'm an activist." Yes, it's like, oh, good God! Like you don't have to get a qualification to be an activist. You can just say you're an activist. And when he starts talking about activism, it's like, oh God, please. The next party leader will have to go to the places that rejected us and win the argument. That's why I'm standing. You see, this is the problem. Win the argument. What is the fucking argument? Win the argument. That doesn't sound like someone who's listening, does it? I'm saying, right, well, we heard what you've got to say 3 times. Okay. All right, you've heard 3 times. We heard what you got to say, but the fact is, let's have an argument, and I'll tell you why I'm right. And you're going to listen to why I'm right, because I'm going to win this argument. That's what it sounds like. It's like going, that's like, and win. We have to reject us and win the argument. Although it probably, maybe she's talking about something else. Maybe she's talking about it a different way, going, no, we need to win the argument of why you should vote for us. I don't know. Let's have a look. We are out of power and on the rocks. Oh, you shouldn't have been an MP. You should be a fucking novelist. The shattering collapse in trust among lifelong Labour voters has been a long time coming. Well, I'm glad you saw that one, because I think it's like 40 years coming. Anyway, now is not the time to steady the ship or try not to oversteer. Unless we change course, we will become irrelevant. Yes, and I think that is something that we can all recognise, because you missed an opportunity where the Liberal Democrats have become a complete lunatic party in a very short space of time. They are now the party of the ultra-loons. They saw how loon you were going. They were like, oh, we've got to go really fucking loon, I suppose. And we've been left with nothing. But we got the strongest opposition now you got is the SNP at this rate. And, I mean, that's all right for the Scottish, but what about the rest of us? Anyway. This change starts with empowering people to make change themselves. We've been a decade out of power in Westminster, changing our leaders and commissioning reports and focus groups from offices in central London just to hear what is happening in the country. If we were trying to reinforce the sense that we just don't get it, we couldn't do better than this. Well, thank God. Here's a Labour MP who actually understands what the hell's going on. So far. So a round of applause for you. Yeah, out there in the country, Labour is creating change. So this is where they're going, oh, we have been doing... No, we've been doing stuff. From Preston Council, which has used local assets to grow the economy. Oh, good. To Nottingham, which set up its own energy company to help the poorest. Good. As Shadow Secretary of State for Energy and Climate Change... Oh, what a title. I brought 60 Labour councils together to defend the Paris Agreement and cut the UK's carbon footprint by 10% by switching to clean energy. Is it efficient energy, though? That's what we want to know. Quietly and unsung, we disrupted the power of the big 6 energy companies. It is this on-the-ground activism that will pave the way back to government. No, I think a clear message and the fact that you're listening to the people is the way back to government. It's generally how it works. It's how it's worked for like hundreds, maybe thousands of years. We've been running scared of debate, dissent and constructive challenge. Yes. All right, round of applause for that. Yes, that is true. Yes. Can you acknowledge how you've completely fucked that one up? The anger and infighting has to end. We are leaving the EU on the hardest of terms. Laws that defend people's health and their safety at work, the environment and the minimum wage are unlikely to survive a free trade deal with Donald Trump. You're literally not making a deal with Satan, you know. It's not some overlord from planet Zog. No, we do not believe in rules and regulations. The people are there to suffer. Like, do you really think that's going to play out? Do you really think? This is the United Kingdom. This is 2020. I don't know where you think we are. But do you really think that's going to play out? You think people are going to have that? No, it's not going to fly. People just the thing. The way they talk is like, it's the Conservative Party that treats people with disrespect, and they don't care for the people. They don't care about the people. They don't care. They wouldn't listen to the people. Well, it's you that don't listen, because like people are going to be up in arms, right? When this, defend people's health and safety at work. Do you know what? Maybe there is too much health and safety at work. Have you ever heard of the terms of health and safety gone mad? Like, there's too much health and safety. It does strangle on things, stranglehold on progress and shit. The environment and the minimum wage are unlikely to survive a free trade deal. How is the minimum wage going to be affected by a deal with Donald Trump? And who says there's going to be a deal with Donald Trump? This is all just saying, this is so much speculation. This is the problem. When you're speculating this much, no one's going to listen to you. I mean, well, if we don't get a trade deal, of course you're going to get trade deals with people. It's the fucking UK, baby. UK, baby. Like, we're not going to get a trade deal and we'll have to trade with Donald Trump, as if it's the only person to trade with on planet Earth. And Donald Trump's evil, and he doesn't like the environment, he doesn't like health and safety, and he doesn't like the minimum wage. Alright, really? How much speculation can you throw into something going, the laws that defend everyone's health rights and everything, it's all going to be sent out the window because everyone's evil that isn't us? A century of progress is at stake. In this fight, Green MP Caroline Lucas is not our enemy. We are an internationalist party. Oh, you see, now she's lost us all. We're an internationalist party, and we should make common cause with others here and around the world. Yeah, I think one of the things is the whole internationalist thing. We're a European party. I think it's the whole point about Britain. And people are going, yeah, well, what about Britain, though? Isn't that where we are? I'm here in freaking Thailand with being a proud national, has no stigma to it whatsoever. A lot of countries in Asia are like that, funny enough. It's like, yeah, like, fucking proud. We ain't got that. We're an internationalist party. It's like, you're missing the fucking point. This isn't the Star Trek future where we've got the fucking Federation or something. I don't know what the hell you think this is. But people are like, no, we want Britain. We talk about Britain. Charity starts at home, this whole thing. We need to stop waiting for a saviour and have the confidence to believe that change comes from ourselves. Ours is a movement that will graft and toil to deliver change together. Okay, fair enough. To do it, we have to become rooted in our communities again. The GMB union's campaigns on Amazon and Uber, they're just evil, aren't they? Unison's resistance to the privatisation of NHS staffing or Unite's community campaign on universal credit could create the same groundswell for change that brought us the minimum wage. The minimum wage, which may have, fucked everything for everybody, to be honest. I'm a great believer that the minimum wage is just slavery. I really do. I think it's the most enslaving mindset that we've ever had. The more you the more enlightened you become, you just think, minimum wage just fucking sucks. There's just so many reasons why it's not good that I think, a radical change, because it was a radical change to have it, so let's have a radical change to fuck it off again. That's what I say. I think it would do people a hell of a lot of good. And I'm talking like it would make people prosper, it would make people believe in what they do and want to work hard. I really think it would do. I think it would be so beneficial for everybody. Anyway, the Green Groundswell to Change brought us a beacon of hope in similarly dark times. Labour activists support credit unions and law projects in every nation and region of the UK. They need and deserve real power, resources and respect to allow us, by the strength of our common endeavour, to achieve more than we achieve alone. In the decade I spent fighting for the rights of marginalised children before I became an MP, I learned that winning a vote in Parliament is never enough. What is needed is the hard yards of winning the argument inch by inch, in town halls, workplaces and pubs. That's right, why weren't you campaigning in pubs? This is where we fight to regain people's trust and win permission to deliver radical change. Alright, can you keep politics at the fucking pub? I'm not having any... for goodness sake. The luxuries of a hung parliament are behind us. If we want a hearing, we will have to go into the country, create waves and make it happen. The next Labour leader will have to be up for a scrap, willing to run to the places where we are loathed, take the anger on the chin and win the argument. So you're going to make the argument and win the argument. Right, I see. That's how it's going to win. So you're still not going to listen to what people have been saying for decades. I see. No, we're going to make an argument and then we're going to win it. Well, obviously, if you make the argument, you should be able to win it. You made it. Right. Okay, so they're going to go, yeah, you fucking deserted us. You deserted us. Like, no, you deserted us. And here's how. And I just won the argument. The belief that this country can be better drives me forward. Bring back universal child benefit and the benefit cap and build a system that gives people dignity, not just an allowance for conditions set by decision makers in Whitehall. Dignity comes from being able to take care of yourself. Just saying. Anyway, reclaim our public services so they are run by empowered frontline professionals, not distant experts. Bring investment to places that have lacked so much for so long to deliver good jobs, not charity. Find the courage to tackle the social care crisis. No longer can we abandon people to die in poverty after a lifetime of work. Well, hear to that, I have to say. We could run the economy as if the future matters. More than 1,000 fossil fuel power stations are being built across the world, many with the support of UK banks. That's right, the bankers are evil, aren't they? Their backing equals the whole coal power capacity of the EU and Australia put together. This will raise flood risks in Britain, threatening everything from our pensions to our planet. It is just one symbol of the economy that puts profits before people with appalling long-term consequences. So this is where you've lost everybody. You've lost everybody now. I was like, what the hell are you going on about? What's this got to do with winning your fucking election? You see, this is the problem. You're going, well, no, you're talking about all this hearsay doom and gloom, like power stations and flooding and shit. People don't think like that. Do you know what I'm saying? This is why you've lost it, man. You've lost it because people ain't thinking like that. Like, this is not where you're, like, if you want to keep dropping me bottle condom. Right? If you want to save the earth and reduce carbon emissions and all this stuff, then have it in your manifesto and has it as a priority. But this isn't a way but you need to have something that brings the people back. This ain't it. This ain't it. People are just going, oh, shut up. This is why you're not talking to people. This is why you're losing. You keep going, you're like, yeah, but and it's like, shh, slow down, man. You need to focus on winning, okay? You're not going to make any changes if you don't win. Isn't it? You ain't going to do shit if you don't win. So you need to fucking win. You've completely lost the plot on what it takes to win. You win, then you do. Yeah? You can talk, but until you win, right? You need to win first. By the next election, we'll be trying to win voters who were toddlers when there was a last Labour government. More than stories about how Margaret Thatcher ruined the NHS, they will need evidence of real change that comes from our grassroots. Born in 1979, I was 17 before I saw a Labour government, and at times I felt change would never come. I didn't think it would ever come. I went into politics to change the world. Well, you chose the wrong path to change the world, bitch. Become George Bezos. That's how you change the world. Anyway, and that flame had never dimmed. Our biggest asset is the people in every community and workplace I've ever been. MPs, councillors, activists, trade unionists and charities who give their all because they see a spark that, if ignited, might just change the world. Amid the shell shock, anger, hurt and frustration, there is hope. So, who's getting that? Oh, it's just the Labour Party, not the people. This defeat was shattering, and I never want to be here again, but rebuilding cannot wait. I am standing to be leader of the Labour Party to defeat Boris Johnson and lead a compassionate, radical, dynamic government. That I firmly believe most people want and deserve. That leadership will place at its heart an end to the wholesale patronising of working people as a homogenous group to be saved or condemned. We can change Britain, but it doesn't start in 5 years' time. It starts now. Right, what's this bit? I firmly believe most people want and deserve change of leadership. That leadership will place at its heart an end to the wholesale patronising of working people as a homogenous group to be saved or condemned. To be saved or condemned. So, kind of like she's saying, yeah, we need to stop patronising them, condemning them. But she's also saying as if the Conservatives are patronising them for saying they're going to save them or something. You know, it's like, oh, well, they only say they want to get Brexit done because they're patronising you, which sounds patronising. I don't know. This woman sort of has a few good bits, but then she goes off on one about stuff that isn't relevant to winning the fucking, just to winning. It's about winning. Like, what happened to winning? You know, it's always full of the same nonsense. You know, all this. God, do you know what I'm saying? We need to make the argument and win it. Now here's an argument, Chuck. We're going to win this. It's this doom and gloom shit. But what you've noticed is that she hasn't said anything about what she's actually going to do. There's nothing about what we are going to do, what we're going to do for the people. She hasn't acknowledged why they lost. Well, she has a little bit, is that we've lost touch, but she hasn't really confronted it face on. I don't think anyone has. That's standing to be the leader. You know, no one's really gone face on and said, all right, this is why, okay. No one's really done that. And she says she doesn't want to be in the position, you know, in a similar position ever again after what happened in the election. I think next time around, I mean, it all depends on who they're going to choose as leader and which path they're going to go down. And it just looks like they're going to go down the same fucking path and double down on it. Because that is kind of the way a lot of left-wing politics is going right now. Right-wing politics seems to have just understood the mechanisms of everybody. And left-wing politics has just believes in ideas and not in people. Like it just pigeonholes. It says, well, you're this and therefore you like this. You're this and you should be this. Whereas right-wing politics is sort of speaking to everybody. Kind of speaks to everybody. As long as you love the country you're in. It's very simple. Whereas they're like, no, it's this. It's just too much. It's too much. It's too much. You can have as many good policies as you want, but if the central message is confused, and this central message is, all their messages are just fucking confused. You're just like, what are you going on about? Like, you know, she just goes off on one, like going, social crisis, we can no longer abandon people to die in poverty after lifetime work. And then, 1,000 fossil fuel power stations are being built across the world. Like, whoa. You know, we're supposed to be keeping it here in the UK, and you're off over, you know, well, British banks are funding these power stations across the world, and we need to go demand that Somalia doesn't have a power station, or some shit. You're like, what the fuck? It's confusing. Anyway, that's that, I suppose.